Computer icons, the intro. So we will cover within this what is a computer icon, why icons are important in user interfaces, and what are some of the conceptual types of icons. First, what is a computer icon? Well, a computer icon is a simple graphic representation of a function. They are used to assist navigation in digital spaces or label or shorthand information. So this is supposedly claimed the first interface where such things happened, which is the Xerox star. And as you can see here, they were using iconography to kind of emulate pages. You can see like USA, Japan config, and we have a computer at the top, and we have little icons for like printer, calculator, and various other things. You can see that the icons are used to kind of hint at what something is. Folder is one of the biggest and well-known ones, which is, we are storing information inside of this. This is a very good example. So I just wanted to create a simplistic way of trying to describe what an icon is, and I think it's broken into three things. One is the function. So what is the function that needs to be conveyed when you're creating an icon? Then there's an idea of, okay, what kind of thing or symbol that is the most recognizable that can help to convey that function. And then the last part of it is obviously it illustrated as an icon. And this part of it, for me, is actually the simplification of the previous idea. So I'll give you an example of this. So for the function, your notification section lives here. So this is the thing that we want to convey. And the idea is, okay, what idea does that well? Well, the bell, the bell in society indicates ringing, which in our minds indicates historically come to church. So this is kind of the symbol that helps us recognize, okay, to be notified of something. The drawing itself is a simplified bell, which is, as you can see here. So that's one example of a way to think. So if we go back, the function, the idea, the drawing. Let's move on to the next. So why are computer icons important in user interfaces? Broken it into kind of 5 key things. And I'll give an example of this. Icons are fantastic because they use less space. So as you can see here, we have navigation, notifications, noteworthy, and contacts. And then we have on the other side, icons that indicate the same thing. So you can obviously see that text itself takes up more space. The icons themselves take up a lot less space, normally around 24 pixels, depending on the size, or down to 16. They're quick to recognize, so an idea of this is scanning. So this icon of a house must mean home, which in our mind's eye is, okay, this is the home place. So they can be very quick to scan and then understand what they mean, instead of having to read first. They're language agnostic, so this is great. As you can see, when you go into different countries in the world, you might see a symbol such as a home icon here. And you can see another home icon here in Japanese, but you don't need to know Japanese. You can understand this also means home. And fantastically in interfaces, they aid user accessibility. So we saw the text and the icons before. So text plus icons is a great way of kind of utilizing both things, which is easy to scan, and then it says exactly what it does or is. So the fantastic user accessibility tools. And they also give a fantastic opportunity in interfaces to add character, where normally you're primarily trying to focus on the functionality. So this is where you can add a bit of flair to the brand within an interface. Not too much so, because the more complex you make icons, the less likely they are to be understood. So it's a gentle balance here, but it does give you that opportunity. Now, what are the types of icons? I've broken into 3 different types, and the first is resemblance icons. So outside of the title of resemblance, I call these the looks like icons. So you look at them, you go, okay, this must mean that. So an idea of that is the home means home icon. The search icon is obviously a magnifying glass to search for something. So these are good examples of that. We'll go into the next one, reference icons. So reference icons more idea based. So it's icons that define an object or an action via an analogy, and they fall under the category of reference icons. So like this compressed or kind of press emblem is used to indicate compressed, as is fragile. You have something that shows a lightning bolt, which is actually to indicate that something is going to be cracked. So they're a little bit more obscured from resemblance icons. So as we go through these get more or harder to understand, but are still tools that we can use. And lastly is arbitrary icons. So these are ones that are completely learnt. I call them learnt icons, which means that they have to be seen in context, like the hamburger icon, or the floppy disk drive, which we have here. And once we see them, we know, okay, this is supposed to mean save, but in reality, they have very little to do with what's trying to be conveyed. And these are the ones that are the hardest to understand. And normally within your interfaces, you want to try and avoid these, because we'll remove them and use something that's more resemblance or reference based. Right, so in summary, just overall, what is a computer icon? They're simplistic graphic representations which are used to navigate digital spaces and label or shorthand information. Why are they important? They use less space, they're quick to recognize, language agnostic, aid user accessibility, and there's a great opportunity to add character. And the types: resemblance, reference, and arbitrary.